Hi everyone, I'm Michelle Kelly. Welcome to Be in the Change. I'm going to get started by reciting my inspiration. Our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, which most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people will not feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us. It is in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give others permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Marianne Williamson. I'd like to say welcome to everybody who's watching me for the first time, and welcome back, and thank you to everybody who's been watching me and on this journey with me. I stated in 2019 that I was breaking up with fear, I was breaking up with shame, and I was breaking up with guilt as my New Year's resolution. And I was able to keep it for the entire year, and it's 2020 and I'm still going, and I have to continually break up with fear, shame, and guilt, but it has gotten a lot less. And it's a process and a practice, just like it was it being in my life. So for me to expect for it to be removed, I've carried it for a really long time. So I don't know if you guys saw my video last week, but I was talking about being the light and how I'm going to shine bright so that people can find me when they're in the darkness. I wanted to talk to you. Today is my son Angelo's birthday. He is 26 years old. And I was reflecting back this morning and thinking about what it was like when I was pregnant with him. I got pregnant with my son Angelo when I was 22 years old. I was not married. I was just finishing beauty school and I got pregnant. And the shame that came along with that was I was brought up Catholic, I wasn't married, and I was pregnant. And it was one of the hardest times of my life. And talk about shame. Shame was thrown on top of me, and I already carried it. So I was working at a salon on the main line, and everybody asked me, so what does your husband think? And I had to say, I don't have a husband and I'm not married. And I was scared shitless. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It was, I did nothing to prevent pregnancy, but when it actually happened, I was shocked and surprised. But I remember every time I went to the doctors in the beginning, they couldn't find the heartbeat, and I'm like, it's because I'm not pregnant. And they're like, no, you're pregnant. So talk about what has happened since then. But when I was pregnant with him, it was a really hard time. I didn't know if I could feel love. I didn't know if I was gonna attach to the baby. I could not tell anybody this because I thought if people knew that they would take the baby from me. I remember the first time, it was in 1994, and in Pennsylvania is where I lived. We got ice storm after ice storm after ice storm. And I was with my son's father at the time, and I remember we witnessed a really horrible car accident. And when we witnessed this car accident, the car in front of us, like the van, slid into the back of another car, and all the glass came out of the van. The windows were out. The woman was holding her neck, and I wanted to stop, and we didn't. And I remember it was the first time in my life we were going to Sears to buy a washer and dryer, and I think at that moment when we weren't able to stop, I realized the person that I was with was not going to be the person I was going to stay with. I think at that moment I realized I was going to be a single mother because I wanted to stop and just wait with the people until the ambulance came. And it was the first time I couldn't make an excuse like we had to be at a job or be at a part. We did not have to be anywhere at a certain time. So I think at that moment I knew I was going to be a single mother because I wasn't going to be able to live like that. So I was scared. And so I walked around scared. I walked around with shame, and it was all about what everybody thought of me and what people thought of my parents. They had a daughter that was pregnant, that wasn't married. I was like a disgrace to the family. So bringing a baby into the world under those circumstances, it was so hard and scary. And I want to tell you about the kindest, most fabulous people I worked with. The girls I worked with threw me a baby shower that I looked ungrateful because I didn't know how to receive. Because my mom told me if she had a baby, she would have had a baby shower for me, but nobody would come because I shouldn't have been pregnant. So like I was in shock when strangers had a shower for me and wanted to give gifts to this baby that I was so scared, like if I didn't even feel love. So there are amazing, kind, wonderful people in this world, and they were a part of me bringing Angelo into the world, and thank God for all of them. So I was able to leave my son's father when he was 15 months old, and I didn't bond with my son until like 30 days after he was born. You could have taken him from me and I wouldn't have felt it. And it wasn't because I didn't love him. It was because I was so emotionally detached from myself because of what had happened to me prior. So it wasn't this, oh my God. And then a month after I had him, I thought, oh my God, I just knew I loved him. And I thought if anything ever happened to him, I would kill myself. Like that was, I went from not feeling anything to, oh my God, this is my everything. So Angelo and I have been on quite a journey together, and he has watched me and heard my story and how I've evolved and how he has evolved. And we met a wonderful man that adopted my son when he was 6 years old. So somebody else stepped up to the plate who was able to be there. And, everything in life is not perfect. I had a really, really hard time. And I was a single mother for a long time. And even my family told me nobody would ever want to marry me because I had a baby. So I've had to work through so much stuff. But, I'm not afraid of anything anymore. There is nothing anybody can say or do to hurt me. I have done enough of that to myself. But I have a 26-year-old son that was the greatest gift that God has ever given to me. And we're on this journey together. And thank you to everybody who's listening. I'm working my stuff out, and I'm working it out loud, and the shame and the guilt and the fear is leaving. So thank you to everyone who's watching. Please stay tuned, and I will see you all next week.